that you need to people need to know who you are because you're the next best thing. You're like the diamond in the rough, so to speak. So I appreciate you coming on the show. All right, so like you heard in you're a director. Why don't you tell our audience there's going to be people listening in on New Jersey 88.6 FM, which we're on WGAT right now, and then they're going to be watching on YouTube later on. So if you want to introduce yourself to our audience here in the New York, New Jersey area, please do so. The floor is yours.
Nice. So my name is Adam Freeman, and I am an award-winning Scream King and director. And I have started out in acting, and I moved to screenwriting and production, all the way up into filmmaking. And I'm on my second film that I have actually directed, but I've done a lot of work behind the camera and things like that on other projects. And I just did a remake back in September that we're in post right now. That film is called Scream Dream, and it is a remake of a 1989 shot on video cult classic. And the idea was to take shot on video and turn it into a cinematic art piece.
A cinematic art piece. That sounds
Yes.
expensive when you say it like that. It's like gourmet popcorn. It was fine until you added the gourmet in there. Okay, so I'm joking with you, but all right. So we'll play that clip because I know that there was a few that I actually watched and I liked it because I'm into this stuff. I mean, that's why our mutual friend kind of hooked us up there because they know that I'm like 80s Generation X horror stuff and everything. Oh yeah, let me call Greg. So you're in good hands. Trust me, we have an audience for this. Trust me, we have a very diverse audience. It's a machine type audience. So right in your wheelhouse. All right, so how did you? I mean, now you are in Tennessee. You said right? I mean, I was telling you
I
that.
am, yes.
Okay, so when people think of Tennessee, they think like Los Angeles, they think New York, or maybe even Chicago when it comes to like directing and producing and films and everything. What do you got going on
Yes.
down there? Because I mean, tell the people because you don't think of it. When you think of Tennessee, you think of like like Nashville, and you think of music and everything. You don't really think film. I mean, am I correct? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a guy from Jersey. What do I know? But why don't you tell them what's going on down there?
So it's been changing over the past few years. All the way along the east side, the film industry has really grown. I've worked in this business for about 9 years now, and everything that I've done is either in Tennessee or Kentucky. We just recently did one in Illinois, but everything was pretty much produced down in Tennessee area, and we just went up there. But there's a lot happening over here. I think it's just because Atlanta is really blown up with the filmmaking industry, and Tennessee is really happening. They're filming several shows around Knoxville area, and they've done some movies around here. But especially up in Kentucky, it's like a really hot spot for filmmaking right now.
Hmm. Like I said, I wouldn't even know that. But you're in the, I being in radio and you're in film, I wouldn't know that. But I guess when you think of radio, you don't think of New Jersey. So I guess touche. But it's, I mean, so you said you've been in the business for 9 years. Now you also mentioned in there that you are an actor. Did
Mhm.
you start this like in college? Was this something that like was a labor of love as a kid, and you had like some favorite? Like, who were your influences? I should say. I don't want. We're not scripted, and you could tell because it's very organic. But for me, I know who my influences were, and I'd like to know what yours are because I'm interested in that. It would be too.
Yeah, my influences are first and foremost Sam Raimi. I love his work. I've been a huge fan of Raimi since I was a kid. I also am really inspired by Lucio Fulci and Mario Bava and Anna Biller, who did The Love Witch. I think I really got inspired from Anna Biller with my style because I kind of saw the character and everything that she put into her film The Love Witch, and thought, people put care into film like she did. And I mean, she went all out to like sew costumes, make props, everything. And she shot it on 35 millimeter. And I I was really heavily inspired to be really organic that way with my work, and not copying or nothing, not being inspired by to kind of dress my sets really elaborately, my cast, and to make something really special and unique. So those are my influences. But I have been a horror fan since I was a very small kid. Um, Back when Haiti had the really earthquake about 10 years ago. I had went there and had done work, and it was a really hard trip. And I came back and I needed a way to kind of express myself because there was a lot that happened over there. So I had met Dell Dickey, who is a really amazing actress, and she's been in a lot of like amazing films. She was in a film with Jennifer Lawrence. She recently did TNT's Claude Nash, and she's also in Sordid Lives. And she used to come into my coffee shop here in Tennessee, and we would talk about movies. And she told me how to get into acting, and I did exactly as she said. And I fell into a great spot where I could either choose to go do SAG films or do it independently. And I decided to do it independently so I could do the types of films that I really wanted to be a part of. And that's kind of where everything started about 10 years ago.
And so you actually chose to do indie. I mean, I love independent films, and sometimes, especially back in the day, whether it was B movie or not, independent films equaled anybody that was up and coming. They didn't just start out in like a studio. It wasn't like, oh, let me just
Yeah.
slide in Paramount or something like that. So a lot of those indie films are diamonds in the rough, as far as the film itself, as far as actors, and obviously producers and directors, which you are one of those. So you wanted to do your own thing. You chose to be independent and kind of pave your own way. Does that inhibit the? I mean, are you able to get all the things that you need? Because there's a lot of moving parts, obviously, when you're producing and directing and everything else with a film, and,
Mhm.
and a lot of people don't realize you have the capital that has to be raised, and the just not to go into the whole thing, but is it harder because you don't have the same resources as a big studio like Paramount or Warner Brothers or something? I mean, it's got to be difficult. You're basically knocking on doors, so to speak, saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
invest in me, an unknown."
Yeah.
Um, right? I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Or
It it is like that. I will say that I think the indie film industry. I wasn't there at the beginning of it, especially with like the online indie horror community, but I was able to come into it where I just kind of started like landing role after role after role, and being an actor. We still did a lot of production work, even though we were actors on indie film. And I was able to kind of learn the ropes of everything. And I kept doing it and kept doing it to the point that I was like, I could literally put everything that I know together and create my own label and my own brand and start doing my own thing. So I did that with my first film. And of course, my first film that I did by myself, we didn't raise a lot of money. We weren't able to really do what we wanted to with it, but I had worked myself to death, basically. And I had taken on 4 full-time jobs, and I was working about 160 hours a week. There's only 168 hours
I
in
was
a
just
week,
about
so I'd
to
sleep
say I'm not
4
great with math, Adam, but that sounds a little
hours.
off there. What are you starting? You got to squeeze in an hour or two on us somewhere? What you do?
I literally just worked myself until I was sick on my first film, and I was able to get it done, and we got it out. And a lot of people really saw the potential. So when we did open up a new project and a new campaign to raise the funds, within about 3 days we had $18,000, and I think that came from people who saw my previous film and said, okay, he's going to do this and he's going to give us a quality product. And my film went on to get nominated for, I believe it was 6 awards, and it walked away with 1 win. And to me, for that being my first film, I felt like that was success for me. So I just have kind of stuck with it, and I'm going forward with it. And yeah, so I went with a remake this time, which is a little little different for someone's second film, but
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, it's everything. All right, so let me go to now. You have a YouTube channel, all right? And
I do.
let's put that in there. That's what I should have actually have asked you earlier. So let's put that in right now. So on YouTube, where will we find you? And I'm gonna I'll type it in right now.
The Scream Dream trailer is being uploaded by my editor. So all my stuff from my new film is coming out through his right now. And that, if you look up actor Jason Crow, his channel, and the film trailer is called Scream Dream, just Scream Dream trailer. And
okay, let me do that real quick. Okay, so that does not come up. Oh, here we go. Is it teaser or trailer?
I think it's teaser. I think you may have put it as teaser. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Why would you know? It's just your site. No, I see it. Okay, so we're going to, let's do that. And we'll stop that there. All right, let me do this. And then we'll share it. Let's share our screen for everybody. So let's check out this trailer here. Ooh, spooky.
Greetings and welcome to the Finishing Funds campaign of Scream Dream.
And that was the teaser.
Freeman, and I'm the director and also one of the stars in the upcoming remake.
Say you look like your twin brother there.
Scream Dream is a 1989 shot-on-video cult classic of the same name, directed by Donald Farmer and starring legendary Scream Queen Melissa Moore. What our idea behind this project was to bring a shot-on-video and film and turn it into a cinematic art piece. Currently, right now, we are working in the post-production, and we do have the film fully shot. Right now, we're also working on the score of the film and some pretty unique visuals and aspects of the film, as well as editing. With your help, we'll be able to make sure that this film is everything it possibly can be. So take a look at our perks, and thank you again for stopping by.
Oh, no, thank you. All right, so let's do that, and we'll go back. All right, so that's the Scream Dream teaser. So I'm going to go down a little bit now. This right here, the where it says Scream Dreams official trailer. That's not you, right?
Right here. They uploaded a few of them. He may have two up because we changed the teaser up a little bit.
All right, so yeah. Is that right here where I'm moving the mouse? Is that, you recognize that one?
I don't. It's
No. All right, so I don't. All right, so that's the actual screen. I mean, I remember seeing another one, but like I said, it doesn't come up under teaser. So let's try.
I do have like a new clip of it's a Scream Dream Demon Mammone, Mammone. That
all right, well,
should be listed public.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is let me go in. I know exactly where to grab it from. And we'll have to. Don't worry about it. We're going to edit this part out. So 1 second. All right. And okay. Yeah, it was the one with the link in it. All right, there we go. Let's see if that one is a little. We needed. Okay. So we're going to share our screen again. And let's get that out of there. Like that. There you are. Okay. So let me share it again. Let's do that. And like that. All right, cool. So there you go, right there. So that's a nice little trailer. You know what I mean? That's cool. But all right, so where do we stand right now with like we're in this is July right now. Uh,
Mhm.
when is this going to come out? I mean, you said it's in post, meaning for the people that don't know what that means post production. That means editing. That means cutting. That means clipping. It means audio. It means voice tracking, that
Mhm.
kind of thing. How long does something like that normally take before you could submit it in? And then they do like a final, whatever they call that, and then it's available for the viewing public. Like, can you take us through quickly? Take us through that process and timeline it for
Yeah.
us a little bit. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that we have to do for film specifically. We have to get time codes for every word, for every song, put in there to send over to distribution. But I know that the distribution label is really, really wanting it. They're wanting as many updates as they can about it because they're wanting to get it out like ASAP. But where we're at with it is the film is pieced together, but there's still a lot of editing to do. So what we've done is we've opened up the finishing funds campaign that will help get the score made, and also which some of the score's already been done, but that's what here in the dirt. So we're going all out with it. So we don't want to rush it too much, but we want to get enough funds to be able to go ahead and pay the editor fully and the composer so they can just kind of like sit and work on it and get it together
Okay.
instead of doing like a little bit here, a little bit there. But the process I want to say was a little bit smoother than my last one because my last one it took months and months and months and months and months to get it edited the way that we wanted. With this one, I think it's going a little faster, and I think that we should probably have it. I want to say done probably within like the next maybe like 3 or 4 months. I would say as far if we can get the funds for it, it'd probably be a lot faster. But then get it out to the distributor, and they are out on Blu-ray and DVD, yeah, streaming.
Okay. So bottom
Yeah,
line is we're looking at so if this is let's say this is July 1st, which obviously we're going to air this at a later time, but for all intents and
yeah.
purposes, July 1st, 2024, what are we looking at before the end of the year or on Halloween time? Like what are
I
we,
would
what's I
probably around Halloween that it'll be done and go to the distributor, and then they're gonna get it out on streaming right away. And I know they're working on, which they're working a little bit on trying to get theatrical, trying to get all that together as well. That was something they said that they were working on. I don't know too many
okay.
details on that because that's up to the distributor since they now has been leased to them. But yeah, I'm really excited about that as well.
All right. Well, okay. So where are you going to, you mentioned streaming. So obviously this is not something where you walk into a movie theater and you're going to see it right now. Nowadays in 2024 and beyond, a large part of that is like video on demand, like you would say, or, whatever
Yeah.
the case may be on there. But so where is it going to stream? Are we talking about Hulu? Are we talking about Netflix? Like where are we at right now?
It'll be on Amazon, iTunes, probably Tubi, maybe Freevee. I've seen a lot of films from the same distributor on all those platforms. I've seen even
Like,
some of them go to Shudder, which I don't know it. I don't know for sure which one, but for sure Amazon, Tubi, iTunes, things like that. And you can go into like your local Walmart and pick it up. So
right. All right. So yeah, in other words, it's gonna get cross promoted for different. Like I said, like if it was strictly online, it would be like different platforms. With this, the distributor
yeah.
has to get the right, and they'll blow it out to different like Tubi and that kind of thing. All right. So how do you advertise for something like that? Like if people don't know what it is or that it's even coming out because it's not like a theatrical release that you're going to see on like ABC or some kind of network television. How do they
Yeah.
handle that? Is it something where you have to negotiate? Okay, like here for radio, we do like ad time, and there's like chunks of time blocks, and then there's either talking head ads and there's pre rolls and mid rolls, that kind of thing. Is it similar to that on the film side? Because I'm curious, like, how does that work? Like, how do you choose? Is there like an ideal time, an ideal month? Tell us. What do you know there?
So the distributor kind of, I think, handles all that. That's what they're doing with my last film. They choose like when it's going to be released, the date. They do all the promotion for us, so we don't really have to do that as much. for when it comes out, but definitely we're trying to promote it as much as we can to fund the rest of it. But yeah, I would say as far as like the marketing part, that's all distributor. Um, and to kind of get it finished, that's on us to really kind of show what we're doing, show what we're doing differently, and our art style, of course. And I think a lot of that goes with like, just keep trying to do your best, to do something different, bring quality to it. And the more that you kind of do that, the more people kind of get like word of mouth and it kind of gets out a little bit. So I think that that really helps as far as like what we're doing right now. That's kind of
All right.
what we've been
I
doing.
mean, you seem. I mean, are you holding back your excitement? Because I mean, you're coming through the screen here, Adam. Because I mean, I like what we spoke about, and I told you I dig the '80s and metal and everything. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people. There's a lot of
Mhm.
closet rockers too. They're like, yeah, rock on. You know what I mean? And then that's
Oh, yeah.
definitely our wheelhouse. But are you excited about this? I mean, this is 2024. You're going to have your stuff on with a lot of these big people and everything, and you're going to be side by side with them. I mean, is that exciting for you? I mean, you're looking forward to this, right?
It is. I'm overwhelmed, honestly. For the
I am.
first few months, it just didn't even really dawn on me with what we were doing until like after the filming. And then I think it was I was in the car with Deborah Dutch taking her back to the airport, and it really dawned on me that hey, like I just worked with one of my favorite actresses and we're
Cool,
doing
right?
a really cool movie. And it dawned on me, and I remember her telling me, she was like, this is the movie, this is the movie. And that really kind of like hit kind of hard, and
Yeah,
what's
it
been great
became
about
real
it
for you.
is, yeah,
No, I
very
was just
real.
gonna say
And
I was gonna say it became real for you. Like all of a sudden you're like in the same room as no, and I know that
yeah,
feeling. I've had that back in the day. I know that the butterflies in the stomach, like this person is I was watching her now, she's right next to
oh
me. Yeah,
yeah.
I get it, man. It's thrilling actually. Uh that's awesome, man.
And
I'm so happy for you.
we we also had, thank you, and we also had known as Misty Mundy, but she is goes by Erin Brown. And
Mm,
she was the lead of the film. So when I was a kid, I would go into a video store, and every single wall of every video store, like every wall, there's a Misty Mundy film. And
yeah.
now it's like, now I'm working with Erin Brown, and that was pretty
Misty
surreal.
Munn.
And to see the talent that she has was really taught me a lot behind the scenes as well.
All right, so just because I am the way that I am, and it's not the nice machine here. So when I think Misty Monday, I'm thinking porn. It's like the perfect porn name. I mean, like let's be honest. Or a Tuesday afternoon 2 for 1 at your local strip club. But I'm joking around, obviously, because by the way, I've never been in those places. But I wanted to know, as far as like trying to like run us through real quick, because this is something I actually want to know. How do you
Hmm.
find like how do you cast that when you're independent? Do you have like people just calling agents, or are you like scouring, like trying to find agent name and like, okay, here's my list, A B C B D, and you kind of go from like most wanted down that way, or how does that work? Because I have no idea how you do that.
I do it all by myself, and I have some of my friends who work as production managers help me out a little bit as well. But I think it really comes with the territory of indie film. Like we all network, so like going to like horror conventions or being on other film sets, we meet people who know people, and we get introduced to those people, and then it's just constant networking. And that was something I was really big when I first got into. I wanted to meet as many people as I could, and because I did that, I have access to a lot. We're in some of my favorite stuff that are really wonderful actors, people who are doing bigger stuff. But that's kind of like how we did it. And I had first and foremost had wanted Debbie. Like that was my big thing, was having Debbie. And so I kind of wrote the part with how I wanted to see what I wanted to see her do. So she obviously, we talked, and she said yes, and I was overwhelmed. But then the way kind of we got Erin Brown in on it, she was recommended to me through Ronnie Jonah and Jason Crow, and they had recently worked on a film with her prior, and they got me in contact with her, and I was like over the moon because I mean to be able to work with Erin Brown was wow. She was in the Masters of Horror, Sick Girl, um, and she was in like Jack Ketchum's The Lost. So those were movies that I really, really, really loved, and
Yeah.
it was really surreal to actually talk to her and meet her and have her on the
So
project.
you just kind of went for it. That's what I'm well, you're trying to be very diplomatic about it, but let me tell you something, Adam, as we get to, become friends here, I can tell you're just like, look, wham, wham, I want this, I want that, I'm going to talk to that. Like you just kind of went for it. No, I like that though. That's like
Yeah,
I think more people should be like that. Like why would you like beat around the bush say, "Hey, be direct like we are here." I'd be like, "Look, I want you for this. You're perfect for this. This is what we want." So it's not if, it's when. With that type of
yeah,
attitude, you have to, as an indie person, you only get one swing at the ball, so to speak, one bite at the
mhm,
apple, however you want to mention it. But the fact that you're able to do it is a testament to they're believing in you. They're not just investing in money, they're investing in Adam Freeman. I mean, that's a big deal. That
yeah,
could lead to more things, but because it's a labor of love, it's not always about the money. People that do it for a long time or continuously do it, at some point, it's not really about the money. It's about this is what I do. I'm in my element. I enjoy this. This is not work because I love what I do. Do you feel that? Like,
yeah.
does that resonate? Because that resonates with a lot of people. Do you feel that way, the way I just said, or?
I, I do feel that way. That's pretty spot on. I know that like even like with me being one person and I'm like trying to go over every aspect of everything, being in control of
Yeah.
that. Like if you were like on a bigger set, like a SAG film, of course you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have people who do that for you. So I try to do pretty much everything, oversee everything, so it really does come out the way that I want it to, and I really make sure I I like to have a smaller team, because having a smaller team means that I'm going to get those people to know my vision more, and I'm going to have them to really bring that out. And where if you have like a bigger team, which I've been on bigger film sets before, you have like maybe 50 people doing 50 different things, and it's like, okay, how do I know that it's going to be exactly what I need for this? So I do like to be in control of that and be able to overlook it and be able to trust that these people are going to do exactly what I need them to, so we can create exactly the vision that I'm trying to bring out.
And you feel that with a smaller crew or your little
Hmm.
quote unquote family, that it's more personable. You're not speaking to the
Yeah,
masses. You could actually sit at one table, but that's okay because it's quality, not quantity. You don't need 50 people. That you need 10 people that are vested in your vision and they one direct thing. In other words, everybody pointing the right way instead of going rogue or this person's got ego over here and this guy's being pretentious about that. You have everybody going, you know what? We believe in Adam, you lead, we'll follow. And that's really, I mean, that's with any industry really, but the fact that you have a smaller crew doesn't take away that it could be a great crew because they all share the
yeah,
same vision. That's how it works in anything, not just film. And the fact that it seems like you have a good grasp of that, like you're not just
mhm,
speaking about it, you're actually doing it. You're talking the
yeah,
talk and you're walking the walk, that kind of thing. All right. So what do you have once that's done and it gets advertised and I told you you let me know and we'll do some spots for you. I mentioned that way we can get you some visibility and some exposure here in up in the Big Apple. I want to
mhm.
know once that goes, do you immediately go to another project? Do you even have time to like stop and smell the roses, or are you like just boom, let's take this energy and all this excitement and just move right to the next thing? Like, how do you feel about that? Can you tell me that or?
That's the way it's been for about 9 years now. It's just like bam, bam, bam. Sometimes it's multiple projects at one time. Um, I have slowed my roll a little bit for Scream
Oh,
Dream because it was such a big project done on such a small scale. But I will say that yeah, it's probably like, ma'am, I do have already other stuff planned for after Dream. There's been talk about I was into a artist and wanted to do a live action anime that that was pretty infamous. I still can't give it, but that's still in the talks. That several scripts. We're kind of trying to put together a full blown production company with an office and everything. That's kind of our goal. And I've been working with some people outside of the Scream Dream project to kind of help build that together. And yeah, so I think after once Scream Dream is like fully done and it is sent to the distributor, I think that will probably announce my next project and dive into it.
So you know, no rest for the wicked. I believe that was Ozzy that said that. But all right, so basically, you're just gonna like be nonstop. You know, that was something that was an attractive quality for a lot of people, where they don't just sit and go, oh, and you know, and they, all right, I'm gonna sit here and have my cigar. You don't even have time to stop as well. You want to take that momentum and bang, and now you have more exposure. And they're like, you know what? I saw who directed this? Oh, Adam Freeman. Oh yeah, that's right. He did the thing. Oh, you're right. I saw it on Hulu. I saw it streaming on Freeman or whatever, you know, Tubi. And then there you start to build, just like a house. You have to build. You have to have a solid foundation, because it doesn't matter how glitzy and great it is up there. It's going to come toppling down if you don't have the right foundation. So you're starting it, essence, from the ground up. And the fact that you know as much as you
Yeah.
do, being is how old are you?
I'm 33 years
33.
old.
All right. So once again, I have tattoos older than you, but that they're very nice tattoos. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the fact that you could have a foothold in the business, or try to at least be mentioned in the same breath or conversation as some of the people that you revere yourself, that's got to feel good, right? I mean, you're that close, and we're going to do everything that we can to let people know. I mean, we just let people know, hey, look, there's Adam. You know what I mean? Check out his stuff, but it's ultimately it's going to be how they feel, you know, because people are very emotional about music, which I am understanding. Obviously, that's
Mhm.
my thing. But with film, I mean, people are like, do you feel like it's like a drop off? It's either they love it or they hate it, and there's no middle ground. Is there a happy medium? Like, oh, I kind of like it, or they're just trying to be like gratuitous. How do you see that going?
I think that it's for some, it's either you like it or you hate it, and then there's those people who do find qualities in it that they do like.
Right.
Um, I know that like with what we do, especially on the films that I am in, is I'm trying to make a niche for myself, and all like what I've done so far is extremely aesthetic films. They're extremely pink, very purple, very glittery. So like we cover the cast in glitter. We give them
Yeah, we saw
extremely
that.
elaborate costumes. Yeah,
You're not kidding,
and
man. For those that missed it, we'll replay it later. But yeah, you're not kidding with that at all. No exaggeration on Adam's part here, folks. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just cool. I just do.
yeah,
And
like
I bet you a lot of will. You know.
I gotta give people the experience, you know, like it's not just about like going like if you went to a theater and you sat down and you just watched it, or if you like turned something on at your house and you're watching it streaming, you know, there are very unique films out there, and I wanted to do something just completely different and make a
Right.
film that was 100% aesthetic, so that does speak to people. So even if there are like low points in the film where there might be a little something boring or something, they still have that aspect where it's like capturing, they just can't take their eyes off it. So I do, when I do make a film, I do keep that in mind, if people are going to like it or dislike it, and how can I get those people who are probably going to dislike it to just not want to look away and just finish it at least. um, so that's something that does stay on my mind often, with what we can possibly do to suck those viewers in and keep their vision on the film. So
Do you poll people? Like, in other words, do you have like a viewing, like we do online polls with certain things, depending on what kind of project or promotion or event, let's say. Do you do that where you'll have like a screening or something and just trying to gauge the audience? Because I know that that's like an old school thing where they're sitting in the back of the theater and they want to see crowd reaction. You know, like basically a test for a customer. That's really what you're doing. Here's a sample of what's going on. Are you going to buy this, or do you just want to check out the sample and you're running the hell out of there? Like, is that how that works in indie film as well? Like, a viewing. Like, okay, we're going to invite 300 people or 200 people or whatever it is, and we're going to get their opinion afterwards. Does that happen, or is that just like a fallacy? Is that really?
It it does. Like I know some people who do that. What I do is I do have some people that I trust very heavily with what they think. And I've worked with them prior, and they all have a very unique aspect. Like one is completely opposite of the other.
Mhm.
OSC films, so I do talk to several different people. Probably about I would say like 20 or 30 people, and I do watch their reactions with it. And at the same time, I like to get their feedback. So to me, the more feedback, whether it be positive or negative, I love the negative because
You
that
do.
lets me know there's something that you can do. Like, what can you do? What can you do to fix this? What can you add? What could we have done different? And even if I can't change it in the film, sometimes you might be able to. But even if you can't change it, then at least you're aware of what you could have done. So I do send those out to certain people that I trust very much, and I like to get their reaction and their feedback.
So you all right. So it's not always. In other words, you'd like to see who's not enjoying it, so you know, like, hey, this cake's got to go back in the oven for a little while longer. You're able to gauge it
Yeah,
because if everybody said, "Hey, this is great," I don't think there's been any movie in America in American film history that every person that watched it enjoyed. I mean, let's be honest. That's why the critics have jobs. But
yes,
I I would think that that would be nerve wracking. But you're trying to tweak things. You're trying to change them. You're trying to adjust, but not to compromise your vision of what's going on, but just to be able to get that input. You could tell somebody about the movie all day long,
yeah,
be a lot shorter road, right, from A to B to say, you know what,
hmm
don't take it from me. Here, you watch, have some popcorn, sit down, relax. Let me get your thoughts and feelings on this firsthand, and that makes
yeah,
them feel important. Like, oh, okay, I'm here, and I'll give them an honest opinion. Let me give it a fair shake. Never heard of Adam Freeman, but let's see what he's got going on here because some of the best directors ever, as I'm sure I don't need to tell you, started out as unknowns. Like when I spoke to my buddy Mark, and he was directed. That was Wes Craven's first film, which was Last House on the Left. I mean, that's how things started. Nobody knew what they had. They had gold, and they didn't realize it. Now look at it; it's like a cult classic. Obviously,
yeah,
anybody that's a horror or classic, a cult classic fan, everybody knows that one from the early '70s. So that is a possibility. They kind of paved the way. They're pioneers when it comes to things like that, and others too. Do you
hmm
see yourself as something like that? That you could do something groundbreaking that is outside of the box, and you're the first person, which obviously is difficult because we're in 2024. There's been a lot of years before that. Well, how do you feel about it? Is that a possibility in your mind, or does that not matter to you?
I would like for that to happen. I'm not going to set my, say that that's what's going to happen for me down the road. But if
Mhm.
that does happen, that would be wonderful. I know that I took it like what we were saying about with people's reactions and stuff. I took everything from my last film, all the criticism, and I really applied it to this one. So I hope that maybe this one will be it for me. I would love for this one to be it.
Yeah, this is the
Especially like
one.
it's very high paced. Do it.
I know. I was just gonna say that you're hoping you got your eyes and your fingers crossed that
Yeah,
this is the one. This is the groundbreaker. This is the one that breaks the glass for the and leads out like. I mean, that's how it sounds like to me that you are
yeah,
hoping that that's the case. But you're confident, and being a confident young man means that when that thing does air, and people watch the trailer or the teaser, whatever, and you have your viewing audience, your test audience, so to speak, like we just spoke about, and then people actually have eyes on your works, not anyone else's,
mhm,
your works. You're already a winner. I mean, that's what I mean. You have a captive, a
mhm,
captive audience, but no matter what happens, you did it from start to finish. All the blood, sweat, and tears, all the long hours, like you said, you're working more hours than there are hours in the day, and I get that part of it.
yeah,
And this is like the final. It's a culmination of all these people's efforts spearheaded by you. I mean, that's got to make you feel good no matter what. You're a winner. I mean, do you feel that way? Because I can see that. I have the ability to see things that maybe others don't. And some people can do that. Do you feel that way about yourself? I mean, ultimately, it's about how you feel about it, right? You're the only one that has to prove anything to yourself. I mean, do you
I
feel that?
think from day one, the very first day that I stepped on a set, I felt like I was a winner. Like
That's
not a
awesome.
lot of people get to experience that. So being a winner was day one for me. And what comes after that is just building on top of to the cherry, the cherry of the
Yeah.
sundae that
Cherry
is
on the top. There you go, man. Nice one. Nice segue.
for me.
There you go,
Yeah.
Adam. So you're going to direct me now. Okay, I have to talk to my agent. All right. So in closing here, what exactly do we have a date in mind? Is there something that we can tell? And let the audience know because remember, not everybody's going to be watching. Other people are going to be listening on WGAT. So to be able to bounce back on both,
Mhm.
how can we close here? Like, what exactly would they be looking for? They're like, you know what? He piqued my interest. I saw Greg's show. I saw the Mean Machine radio show, and they're like, really? Yeah. Well, this guy Adam Freeman was on there, and he's got some stuff in the works and everything. So, where do we stand right now? Like right now, July 1st, 2024. Where are we at right now?
We are currently deep in pre-production or not pre-production, post-production, excuse me. And
We're gonna go backwards now, man. We're gonna rewind the whole show.
so we are trying to get it done as fast as we can, but still not trying to push it too fast because sometimes when you do too fast,
You know,
you get less quality. So I'm making sure that my editor is comfortable. He's not pressured to do anything. It's really on his time, and that way it gives him the headspace to do what he's doing because I've seen the editing on it, and it's mind blowing to see what's being done with it. So I want to keep that mindset so that's continued. But we're looking for at least a few more months to get it completely done. We need about $6,000 right now, so we have our crowdfunder up that we just opened, and we do have some perks to get that funded. And also, there's going to be some really exciting perks come out in the next few weeks, and you can follow that. All the information on the project through Facebook. You can look up Scream Dream. There's a page. There's a group. My name, Adam.
Page on Facebook. You said right for those that are listening
Yes,
in. Okay.
and
Are you on other social media as well, not just Facebook, or is it just that?
I do have a Twitter. It is Adam Freeman 90. If you want to look me up on there, I recently joined, but I have been really posting a lot about the project on there, and just trying to. I feel like Twitter is your stuff is more visible to that audience, so I've been kind of more on there lately.
Right.
So yeah, and then just the Facebook group of Scream Dream. We're also doing a lot of updates there.
What is it? I'm sorry, Adam. What is it? Adam at Adam Freeman 90. You said
Yes.
Adam Freeman 90. Yeah. Okay. Unless I spelled it wrong, I don't see you coming up on there. Adam, it's ADAMFREEMAN, right?
Yeah. Let me.
And 90. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Man, we really prepared for this, huh? We're kicking everyone's ass. All right. Let's see. I'll find you. Yep. Adam Freeman 90 is
Adam Free 90. I do apologize. I changed it because I changed it on something else. It is Adam Free 90, just the man taken out of my last name.
okay. Don't take the free out.
Exactly. I always got hell because
Apologies. So let me. Yeah, I didn't even know about this one, so that's fine. We'll do everything in real time. No pressure because we're live. Absolutely no pressure. As you can tell, you don't know radio and I don't know film, so we're gonna stick with what we know. It looks like. All right. So let me. I'm goofing around with you. All right. So there he is, right there, folks. Even Adam knows his own handle. That's pretty cool. Director, actor, producer, Scream King. And I just followed you, so you can follow him here on Twitter. I agree. We live a lot on Twitter as well, and this is kind of cool. I mean, you've got some stuff going on here. Everybody has okay. That's actually pretty good. Oh, there he is. Hey, let's give you a like. Hey, look at that. Hey, we'll give you some retweets. We'll throw you to some of our heavy hitters on there. Yeah, see, this is cool stuff here. More BTS of Scream Dream. All right, Adam. So yeah, and there's the colors and the scheme, like we were talking about, and the glitter and everything. I mean, see, you weren't lying. Neither was I. There it is, proof in the pudding.
And the about that is that the entire movie is shot that way, so we don't have any white lighting.
Hold on. Yeah, I think there's a replay, but for those that missed it earlier, let's go right on your page. Watch not. I shouldn't do this screen. Come on, Adam. We're friends, man. Listen to my voice. Do I not sound like I have a demon voice? You should have hired me. See, that's your first problem. Forget about
I
it,
should
folks.
have.
Yeah, that's all right. You're gonna have future projects. You're gonna be a famous guy. You know what? You're going to be everything that you want to be. That is kind of, I mean, that's how we roll, right? I mean, it's all, if you can picture it, you can do it, and you are doing it in real time. And I wish you the best of luck. And I'm sure that everybody that's listening and watching on WGAT are going to feel the same way. So there we go, folks. Scream Dream. All right. Adam Freeman. Now, you do have, let me ask you one last question here, if you don't mind, Adam. You do have say in Final Cut, do you not? Like
I
when
do.
They,
That is a kind of an interesting story because my last film we didn't was about loss and survivor's guilt, so it was a more serious type film. So it didn't have any sexual content or any nudity in the film, and I was criticized for it because I had a lot of distributors and a lot of people tell me that I needed more of that in it. So we went ahead and shot a ton of that for the film, let them get what they want out of it. But there is going to be an uncut version that comes out, and there's going to be a censored version for streaming because I know recently on the streaming platforms they're wanting content cut down. So there's a lot of films that's being
just because of time, because of time or
content.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm able to delay.
They're censoring over.
Go ahead, man.
They're censoring due to violence and nudity, and they are taking a lot of that out of the films that's streaming.
Well, that sucks. I want my nudity, man. Come on, what the hell? This is what makes life worth living. Jesus, there's no sex, drugs, or rock and roll. What the hell are we doing here? God damn. I'm just kidding with it. Well, kind of. Anyway, awesome. We wish you the best of luck with it, and obviously you have our contact information. You let us know when it's going to premiere and everything. We'll throw some when we're live. We'll get some exposure for you there and let people be aware of it, so you can catch him at Adam Freeman 90 or Adam Free 90. I'm sorry, unless he changes it again between now and then. Which keep your eye on it. We know what's going on, man. All right, you can't hide from us. So, Adam, I wanted to say thank you for joining us today here on the Mean Machine Radio Show. It was fun, and I wish you the best of luck with everything. I really do. And next time, let me do the trailer, man. What are you doing? You got me in your pocket. What the hell? Take it easy, man. Thanks for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adam Freeman.